the jelly spot. That's Adrian Zelsky with the National Hemp Exchange.
Live from the mighty VEET airship, I'm Travis Lippert, CEO of Verks Unlimited Limited, better known as VEET.
And I'm Julie Richardson, Director of Commercialization and Promotions. And today we have with us Kelly Curtin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I think, are you starting off with a little NASCAR news?
Oh, NASCAR news right off the bat. First, let me say that we're playing Dub Conscious in the background. Adrian Zelsky, HGHC, International Hemp Exchange. Come be on the show, Adrian. Can't wait. I have a bass guitar.
I have a feeling we're not going to see him till after harvest.
No, because he's too busy doing hemp stuff. He's legit, just all the way across the board.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hopefully, the streams are getting picked up. Looks like they are.
Good.
So cool. Yeah.
Good deal.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Tell us about theater stuff first.
Well, I've always been passionate for theater. Did dinner theater, children's theater, any kind of theater I could really get my hands on, including in college. Then we found out we needed real jobs. My favorite dinner theater experience, though, was working at the Iron Springs Chateau Melodrama Dinner Theater. That was just a really fun event, able to mess with the crowd. It was different every night, a lot of improv, just being goofy. The owners and the staff and the cast were just amazing people. And then after that, I'm like, what should I do now? So I jumped into the cannabis industry late 2008. I helped open up the second dispensary in El Paso County, which is now the oldest one. And from there, I just got attached to it and just kept doing it ever since. So I've had a lot of great experiences. And one day I woke up and was like, what are these labs about? Like, what do they do at these labs? I just always trusted the process, never understood it. It was pretty much forced at the industry, which I think that was definitely a good thing. Mm-hmm. But it was just the part of the industry that I just was unfamiliar with. So 3 months ago, I jumped on the team with Agricor Laboratories, and I've just been excited and grateful to be a part of this amazing company. I've learned so much in 3 months versus the past decade, and I just couldn't be happier.
So tell us about Agricor Laboratories.
Agricor Laboratories is a state-certified lab for Colorado. We test THC products that are through the metric system. So any company that has a license umbrellaed under the state, they're allowed to test their product through us. What we do is really process validated. They have a lot of systems in place that just blew my mind. If you're in the industry and you are using a lab, right away I would recommend that you take advantage of touring your lab and hope that they're very transparent like Agricor is, because it just blew me out the waters. I mean, my first 3 days up at the lab, like, never thought of that, never thought of that. That's a great idea. How come no one else is doing that? And it just kept going from there.
Well, we trust it to be good medicine. What were you about? You about to ask? Oh.
No, you keep asking your question.
When you're using it as a patient, and you have a certain, that you've been recommended a certain ratio and a certain strain. And it's important that you are able to trust that.
Yeah, you need to trust it. And we do, and we always have. We've always trusted this process that we just never understood. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a microbiologist. I am a patient advocate that's very passionate in not only medicine, helping people, different options for recreational use, but in general, just having a better quality of life. When I popped into this lab, it just opened up things in my mind that I just always trusted. In my interview, I remember looking at them and going, what happens behind those magic curtains over there? Like, what's going on behind that closed door? And I was just so curious about it. And I was so excited that they brought me on their team. And I've been able to help other infused product managers, other OPC managers, storefront managers understand the process in more of an industry layman type of way. Not to dumb us down, but a lot of the things in the lab when I first learned, I'm like, look at those doohickeys over there. Like, now I know what they're called. But I'm still learning, and that's what I love about this industry is every day you wake up, you are still learning. If you're not, then something's seriously wrong with you, because there's a new product, there's a new adventure around the corner every day. I mean, just driving up to Lakewood today from the Springs, I'm like, oh, that's a new store I've never seen before. I wonder what they're about, and it's just exciting that to be a part of this just great experience called Colorado, and then not just in the four corners of Colorado, but knowing that products like Veedworks can help outside those four corners of Colorado. You have that below the 0.3% THC to be able to cross those state lines to really be able to help people with Colorado grown hemp CBD products that are below that required amount of THC to where it's not even really required cannabis at that level. And you are able to give a lot of options to people that are out there. It's been really frustrating for me, not only as a patient, but as a patient advocate, that I have family that's outside of this state that I can't help. What? So once again, we have to uproot and make everybody move just for safe access? No. So thank you, Veedworks, also for what you do, because that's a start. Even though it doesn't have that THC in it, which I really also believe in full spectrum products, of course, but it's better than nothing, right? Yeah. And that it's safe. It's not from China or
Veedworks. Right. It's better than nothing. It's not, and it's not from China. Yeah.
Go team.
That's right.
That's a great bumper sticker.
Well,
better than nothing.
And not from China.
And not from China.
I make a point because I have a 225 area code. I kept my cell phone number. And when I make business calls, I make sure I put located in Lakewood, Colorado, because that's a huge marketing plus to have it organically grown and sourced and tested, in this state.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's a lot of great talent in this state. Let's use it.
Yeah. Well, and you were talking about how exciting this is, this industry is exciting. The hemp industry, there's something new and innovative every single day, and it's an industry that you can stay excited about. It hasn't gone humdrum yet.
No, and you keep meeting people and helping people. Like,
yes.
I met you
just
like, a couple of weeks ago?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And we go way back since today, and we're Facebook official. Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, so that's another thing too, is it's not only a social life for me, because I don't got much time on my hands anymore, people.
Right.
But I get to meet great people. We get to help people, and then working at the lab, I feel like I have the best opportunity in the industry to really 405 some people, and that's kind of my personal joke. Because a storefront's a 402, OPC license starts with a 403, a marijuana infused product company starts with a 404. And that's the day I woke up and I was like, I'm getting 405'd. So, well, I guess it'd be 405 if you're one of those people. But yeah, I mean, bring it on. I'm ready. I love the opportunities. The lab is very impressive. Once again, I encourage anybody that can to tour the lab. Have you guys toured the lab?
No.
I haven't. I would love to.
I've just trusted you, though, since or your sister company, which
Botanicor,
with all of our testing. Since
that's
we started.
What I always did too. We just trusted it.
Yeah.
And you have a reason to, because honestly, you picked the best lab for what you're using.
Well,
Botanicor,
I picked the best
Agricor.
people I've met. I've talked to Dell and Kristen.
Oh, he's amazing. She's
for
amazing.
Probably 12 hours of my life of the past 4 years. And Oh, I have a mute button. Check this out. Wait, you don't need to. But
Wait, it's been on mute this whole time?
no. No, but
Take 40.
We go to Botanicor because of the amount of time that I've spent talking to Dell and Kristen over the past few years.
They're amazing.
And so every time we make a batch of lotion, for example, number one, I'm waiting for that compressor to kick off. Does that sound as loud?
Maybe because you have the headphones on.
Yeah, it just picks it up so bad.
That's because we're in a blimp in the middle of the sky.
Yeah, we have
it's going to be loud.
We need to replace that engine. So we have the CBD tested, or the raw material that's coming in tested, and we know how much CBD of the total weight of that, it contains. And from that, we can do math and figure out, okay, we're going to put this amount into a big batch that we make. And then we get a sample of that batch and we send it to Botanicor, and then for a very reasonable price and with a very reasonable turnaround time, they tell us how much CBD and THC and CBG and CBC, and they do an 8 cannabinoid panel.
We just busted out 15 cannabinoids for Agricor. We do 15 different cannabinoid profiles. We do 23 different terpene profiles, which I think is pretty hip because, if you get to the point to where you can't go in person, especially with the homebound patients with the deliveries coming up, I personally like to go off of smells. I don't go off of the highest percentage of THC. I don't need that. I get that opportunity. I get to smell it, and they really say that what your body is accustomed to, like what you are appealed to, what smells the best or the worst, is really what you should go towards or go against. So that could be a way to where you could really tune in the smelly smells. Free smells through the terpene test. Flavors. If you were in the situation where you were a homebound patient and you didn't have that luxury of being able to get free sniffs up in the dispensary, huh?
Right.
So there's many reasons why the tests are great. Not only the terpenes, the potency, we do the microbials, the residuals, pesticides, the heavy metals, mycotoxins coming up soon. Our website is very, very helpful. All the links to the MED bulletins of the latest shenanigans, all the different components, cannabinoids, all the little brainy words that are hard to remember. Those are all posted on our website, thankfully. They did a great job putting together a very user-friendly site. So please check out agricorlabs.com, AGRICOR labs.com.
And I didn't realize how much information they had on there.
Oh, God.
Because it's not part of my job description to deal with taking it to the lab. And, that's something that the people who work in the lab
out of
and
sight,
make our
out
products.
Of mind. You're not getting the samples together.
Right.
Yeah, you need to pack a lunch for our website because it is
it
so
really did.
informative. I'm still learning stuff that's on there.
I went to hop on there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to look at a few things and get some ideas for today. And an hour later.
Oh my God, yeah. It's so fun. There's so much stuff to learn on that. If you're ever curious about the process, intimidated by the process, just get a hold of us. Our team is so helpful. That's another bonus of this, being a part of this amazing team, is they've never not had time to help somebody learn something. We don't just test the results and say, good luck.
Yeah.
Have fun. We really want to help you tone in those frustrations that you might be having. We have a microbiologist, we have a lab analyst, chemist, we have brains that can really come down and help you with any frustrations that you or your team might be having. Why not? Take care of the free help, free consultations. The more the merrier. Like I said prior, if you're not still learning stuff, then you're not doing it right.
Right.
Right? Because I don't know. But I really feel that, Agricor has set the bar for standards in the lab industry for sure.
You would know the new MED certifications that they're asking for? Is Agricor going to try to be that lab?
We do have some new tests coming soon. Definitely, they're in the pipeline. What's really great about Agricor and Botanicor is they make sure all their processes are validated, all their systems in place before they're going to risk giving you an inaccurate testing. So, excuse me.
And you even have a courier.
Oh yeah, in-house deliveries, Monday through Friday, free pickups.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, we've been charging you? I'm just messing with you. I'm totally joking. No, for Agricor, we have an in-house driver Monday
that's
through Friday.
amazing. That would be
for
so
Pueblo,
helpful.
Colorado Springs.
That would be so
Denver. I've been getting free help down to Boone, Avondale. The more the merrier. We're really here to help you. When I used to help
would be
manage
such
an
a huge
infused
time
product
saver.
company.
Yeah.
It's a big pain to drop a sample off.
Yeah, or when do you know when that batch is going to totally be ready? And you don't want to rush the process.
Right.
You also don't want it sitting there collecting dust.
Right.
If you have clients that are needing the product, that turnaround time is amazing. That's really why people have been jumping on the bandwagon. Plus, our in-house drivers, they're great people. They're like people you want to see Monday through Friday on random pickups, you know? Just really fun, really calming energy. You know, it's not like the crazy guy that shows up like, give me your samples. You know, just really calming energy comes in, just like, hey, I'm here. I got the best case to transport your sample in too. So that's another thing. The moment you hand us that sample, you trust us. You're putting a lot of faith into us, right? So how is your lab, in the sense, people watching, how is your lab starting that testing process? Are they putting it in a shoebox? Are they putting it in a cooler with ice cubes floating around? How are they transporting that sample, especially in July? I don't know about you, but my car, when I go back out there, even though it's not too hot of a day, it's going to be freaking hot as heck when I get in my car. Even if I go in and out of a grow for 10 minutes, my car is like death when I go in there. So we have proprietary cases that keep it at a controlled temperature. So the moment you hand us those samples, you know they're not sweating potency. They don't have any reason to not be the same as when you handed them to us from the moment we grab those. We bring them up to the lab. We have a whole process validation just on how we store and cool or freeze, depending on what we're testing the product. We're not using Home Depot fridges. Like at home when you have your eggs on the top shelf or whatever you have, and they get shoved to the back, and then you pull them out, and you're like, "Crap, my eggs are frozen."
Yeah.
Like, oh, isn't that the worst, man? Like my eggs are
that
frozen.
just happened to me,
dude.
That just happened to me.
Now you have less than a dozen out of nowhere. But anywho, like their refrigerator has like a web of, thermal couplets. Doohickeys is what I used to call them. See, I'm learning these words.
You're learning.
I'm learning. But anywho, they have like on their phones, like if that temperature changes or if our electricity goes out, to where within 15 minutes, everybody on the crew is going to know. And that's where your standards are being stored and kept too, that we're rubbing all these test results against. So you want to make sure that your lab isn't using stuff that you see at your house. They're not using all top loader scales, and they're not there. Remember back in the 90s when they had, remember those scales where you put the nickel on it to tar it out, ding ding ding. No, that's kind of a joke. God, I hope no one's still using those.
I've seen pictures on Facebook.
Oh my God, I'm dating myself, man. Yeah, pull out the triple B, man. No, but really be aware of like how it's your baby. It's your product. You put all that time, all that energy. You want repeatable, accurate test results. The end. And I'm so lucky I picked Agricor out of all the labs to work with. Now that I know what minimal requirements they have for labs versus you. Look at your requirements versus
they're
theirs.
nothing compared.
So we go above and beyond. We're doing above the minimum requirements. Please just go to our website, email me, call me, whatever. I'm here to help. I like to help. So,
Well, you have different types of testing too for different products. It's not just, say, topicals or vapes or whatever. You also do food.
yes, we do edibles. With edibles, we do a homogeneity test, and that was actually one word that was super hard for me to learn how to say. Homogeneity. So I'm a dork, so I just, here's to help everyone else out there in the world like me, because it was like the word that would just not come out of my mouth to save my life, is I would just think of Forrest Gump. And I just be like, homogeneity.
There you go. Now, what is
So,
that?
like, any other tricks you guys have, share with the class, please. But I'm learning with you guys, and that's what's so cool. Is I'm here for you. I've experienced your frustrations. I've experienced your frustrations. We're all gonna keep having more. But now I'm on the lab side to really work like with you guys, knowing what you go through, getting those samples together. I had to used to do that. So, go team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here to help. That's why I'm here today, is I want to bring patient awareness to labs, because as consumers, I've never thought to ask, like, wait a minute, where I purchase my medicine, who do they test with? So you guys are starting to take further steps to let your consumers know your exact test results through the Botanicor testing and through your own internal systems, like the QR codes you were talking about.
Well, VVerx products, I mean, you could always go to the website and see them there.
Right.
But there's some states
Like you
that...
would have to type in the lot code.
Yeah.
And it'll.
So you could
But
buy
now
a
you can
product,
just zap it.
go to the website, search the code,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well,
But
we wanted to
but
be
we
compliant.
we switched machines. Like we used to do them like this with a debossed like heat stamp thing that you had to put you had to typeset the letters in it
Oh yeah.
backwards and upside down.
Dang,
and then,
look at you.
So that's what we've been doing this whole time up until this last week.
Cool.
Last Friday we switched over. We got this what's the name of that printer? It's a Zebra 420T printer.
420.
Yeah. And
We only buy Zebra 420 printers.
I'm telling you, if you guys want to, if you want to just accomplish this, which I think everybody should, is attach your lab results to your products. And it's easier than the hot stamper machine and it's just more compliant in more states. If you just have a QR code, what was that website you said? QR code?
There's like freeqrcode.com.
Yeah.
Just Google it.
So
I'm just kidding.
all you have to do is put that lab test up on the internet somewhere and get the URL for that, and then you can go. Then Google a QR code generating website and type in that or paste in that URL wherever you put that document. Then hit submit, and it'll give you a graphic, and you'll have to do some work. But eventually, it doesn't take that long.
You can download it at any file type you want. And if you want to get fancy, I think if you don't want it to be free, if you like to pay money sometimes, you can get your logo like in the middle of the QR code.
Yeah, you can do all sorts
Yeah,
of
and I
cute
think this would be really good for like hemp, CBD, cross state line website type customers for sure. I do know with Agricor, when it would make more sense after the person already bought the product, when they're at home, where they can use their cell phone freely to use that to scan that QR code. But I would like to know that before I bought the product, really. Yeah. I'm really at the point now to where I only want to purchase medicine where I know it was tested. It's like, stuff you don't ever think about. Like, really, our entire lives, we've been long-term side effect guinea pigs. We really have. It's sad to say. So let's take advantage of these test results. If people are paying for test results, let's all have access to them, and let's all start asking questions, because it's a state requirement at the end of the day. If the state requires it, the consumer should require to know how their product was tested and who tested it and what those results were.
Well, when I left South Louisiana, I had a lot of people go, why are you leaving? We're so close. You can get it here. But I couldn't test it. And until I got out here and got really involved with the cannabis community and saw all the different illnesses and saw how important different terpene profiles were, and different ratios were, maybe in a child with epilepsy or or heck in me with epilepsy.
It's so hard to tone in a dosage anyways. It's hard to tone in a dosage when it's accurate every single time.
Yeah.
Because your physiology and the way your body reacts to it is going to be different. Your body could lose a tolerance. Your body could build a tolerance. It just depends on how your body has that aha moment to where it recognizes and knows exactly how to process that with your body and your uniqueness and your ailments and your quality of life. And why in the hell are you even taking this? That's part of the conversation too, as to what you should buy. Whether it's just neuropathy, you need a topical to take that edge off, where you really need a cerebral effect to really stop that pain level. Just that's what's so cool about these lab results. Because back in the day, we'd be like, here, eat this.
Yeah.
How high are you? Do you think it's a 20 milligram?
yeah. How you
Here,
doing
wait,
there?
let me eat some too. I don't know, man. I think this one's more like 100 milligram.
And I base that on, okay, like if you had a cold or flu and you walked into a pharmacy blindfolded.
Yeah.
You can go and get a jar of medicine, but what if you're getting anti-diarrhea medicine or something?
Yeah, like don't get your Dayquil and NyQuil twisted.
Right.
Oh my
right.
God, that could ruin Christmas.
I say that because this happened I came so close. A little bottle of generic Advil has this real pretty blue label on it. And do you know what else does? A little generic bottle of laxatives.
Know the results. Wait, maybe you don't want to know those types of results.
I came as close to popping it open, which is obviously hard for me to do. I get the little bottle with the blue label open. I don't go get my glasses. I'm so old. Pop it open, and I'm right before it goes in my mouth going, that's the wrong color.
Thank God for colors.
Yeah.
But then they'll have that one company that's let's change the color.
Yeah, it was a little yellow pill, and I knew dang well that my what I was wanting, my nasoproxen, was blue. So
you take that one pill and you shrink all of a sudden.
right. But that's just the importance of labeling and making it
label
obvious
claims
and
matching the lab results.
Right.
Basically, and consumers being able to freely ask that, and people like you being able to freely go to a lab and having them be not only transparent with you, but ready and willing and able to help you work with your frustrations. You know, there might be a day where you get a result that you don't like. Well, that's going to suck. But let's figure out why you didn't like that. Let's figure out what happened to where the next result you do like, and make it more of a partnership. I don't know. Go team, really. I mean, I could ramble all day long about labs, but you guys were having
the lab printed out right now.
Oh, cool.
There. So I just gave Gwethelyn this box, which is identical to the box that I sent to this lab in Utah, and asked her to generate a lab report for what's in that box from Botanicor. And it says that it has 0.50% CBD, which is perfect.
Right on the money. High five yourself.
And it's unscented. We sent them an unscented lotion box so that there weren't going to be any terpenes in there to throw it off, you know? Mm-hmm.
And some people like to do that too. Like when they test a topical, they like to test a placebo without the infused product in it. And they also like to test the topical with the infused product, just to have something else to just really rub against. More, it's a topical, another way to rub a topical. Okay, stop, Kelly. But yeah, so yeah, definitely. But yeah, there it says 0.00, but you guys were having frustrations.
Because we sent it to a different lab, and I hope I didn't lose that lab in the process of finding this one. That'd be a bummer. But I just had it. The Utah lab.
Did it fly away?
Says that we came back with it says that we came back with 6.5 micrograms per gram, which is 0.00065% THC in the product. There it is. Thank you.
Oh, go team.
So, yeah. So this lab came back because NASCAR told us that we needed to have 0 THC.
Across, yeah, 0.
0. And so what this excellent lab system that you are describing here, like the level of effort that they put into to getting these tests right, is just unmatched. And so when you say, but it's 0.00% THC and 0.00% THCA, but this lab came back with, from this, Utah lab, 0.00, another 0, then 6.5.
Yeah, so
percent.
In my brain, that's 0. I mean, how come other labs for pharmaceutical products, let's say, and I've never worked at a pharmaceutical lab, but for hazardous components, they're only testing to the 0.00%. And those are chemicals that may cause cancer. So with THC in cannabis, it from what I understand, a lab that usually does urine analysis, so that's how they were able to have access to those standards. Why would they be going so far down the 0 line to where, to me, it just blows my mind of 0 possibility when, we all know that 0.3% or lower is not considered as cannabis cerebral THC type of product that's going to alter your mood, and that's why you're allowed to sell it in places like Utah. So this, I'm their test result. Let's just assume it's accurate.
Yeah,
their
I believe
result
that it is accurate.
Accurate. Okay.
Yes.
So, and I've never been to their lab. I don't know how their process validated. I don't know what systems they have in place. I do know that you mentioned they were using mass spectrometry, and they probably are a very legit lab if they have access to those types of standards. But my frustration is why? Why do you need to test 0.00065% when no one else is doing that?
Right.
Like if that's the case, then okay, but and then not to mention it's a topical on top of it. You're not ingesting it, you're not smoking it, right. You're putting it on your skin, which could via carrier oils, go down through your pores, but we're not talking at the level to where
it's not going to ever, you could bathe in it and it wouldn't get you hot.
No, there's probably more in this water I'm drinking.
This top number is federal law. By federal law, hemp is cannabis sativa L with less than 0.3% delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol on a dry weight basis. And it includes all of its isomers and extracts and salts of extracts. Read it. It makes it very clear what hemp is, and that's what the hemp industry is it's cannabis sativa L with less than 0.3% of this. The federal law actually says it only talks about THC. It's like so behind the times already that it should have said, THCA plus THC. But they do say that that's not the hill I'm going to die on. But just say that THCA equals THC, or THC equals THCA plus delta-9 THC. And so we have, 0.00% of either of those things.
And really what is the opposite silly part is that, licensed THC companies, they're not allowed to sell anything unless it has over the 0.3%. Like let's say a company in Colorado makes a huge batch of medicine and it's 0.29 or, whatever.
Yeah.
Then guess what? They have to destroy that batch. They can no longer help those patients because it didn't have enough THC in it, because the state wants to be able to track that THC from seed to cell. Sorry. But then, this scares me because, with accurate testing in general, okay, let's say you live in Kansas and your child needs CBD oil and you trust a company that it's below that 0.3%. And let's say it's not. And let's say that you your child pops for THC in a non-legal state like Kansas. You know, that's a huge freaking no-no, all because of trusting a lab. I'm just saying, make sure you know that you are working with the best possible lab that you have in your hands. I mean, the test results here, you could use those in the court of law. These test results, we stand by them so much to where if something like that did happen, you could use those results to back you up because they're legit, you know, process validated results. Another thing that could really ruin a company, not just ruining families, is that, let's say, it popped for 0.4% and it was a false positive because of let's say an essential oil, or however they're testing it out of the box. Let's say that essential oil could maybe test as a potency. I don't know what kind of test these other people are doing. That's not how we test it, but it could happen. And now you have to destroy all that product.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that, like, you could have thousands of dollars wrapped up into this batch, but you wanted to save $5 and go to that lab instead. And now all your product's locked up because it has more than the 0.3 or below the 0.3. And that's what's also great, though. Let's say you do get a test result from anybody, even Agricor. You do have that right to test it with another lab. Please do. You can test it with as many labs as you want to. You know, and in fact, if you do fail a certain test, you have to test with either 2 more separate labs or a certain amount of tests within that same lab. Mm-hmm. But that's why I preach that, you know, repeatable, accurate testing, because you could blind send us the same batch and tell us it's 2 different batches on different months, and it's going to be pretty similar, you know, depending on how it's stored, you know, in between the times. But, you know, really, you could label something A, B, and C and be like, oh, we're going to trick them. But no, it's repeatable, accurate testing across the board. And I do encourage you to use other labs. I do encourage you to tour other labs.
Unless they cost $1,000. See, that's the thing. Yeah. If I could just do it with you guys. Did I mention that the lab cost almost 20 times what Agricor
Botanicor, yeah. You had a test with Botanicor.
Well, I said almost 20 times.
Yeah.
For Agricor.
Yeah, ridiculous pricing. And that's through a urine analysis.
Urinalysis, yeah.
Yeah.
That's, $1,000. Boom. And we didn't get to choose our lab. I tried to choose our lab. In fact, I recommended, you know, obviously Botanicor, and just gave them like a list of, like, you know, 5 top-notch labs, you know, or at least like brand name type of labs. Mm-hmm. But now they wanted to send it here.
That's a lot of money. And you know, it is what it is. You know, I mean, unfortunately, we're going to have to be the people in these, you know, pioneering positions to where we are going to deal with more frustrations than our children and our grandchildren will be. But that's why we do it, right? Well, and it does suck that we have to bitch about $1,000 test, but this is like breaking freaking times, man. You're talking NASCAR. You're talking helping like so many people.
Yeah. Like NASCAR, look, 3 Earnhardts, 1 race. It might already be too late for that now, honestly. It might be too late to put Bobby Earnhardt in the Xfinity race, Darlington, August 31st, because it looks like NASCAR is running out the clock on us right now. I've been waiting for an email for 2 weeks now where I told NASCAR, I believe that we just passed this test. You said that you wanted 0% THC, and I believe that we just got 0% THC. We got 0.00065% THC. Mm-hmm. But I think they're trying to run the clock out on us, and not get back to us. Like,
it's just something new for them, like it used to be new for everybody. You know, people really need to open up their minds. They need to understand the benefits. They need to realize it's a topical, first of all. Mm-hmm. And then if it takes the edge of pain off, it takes the edge of pain off. If you read the ingredients of what Bengay and that Tiger Balm and whatever
methyl salicylate,
bang, it's like, yeah, I want to, you know, but that's okay, you know, and you also smell bad. But no, I it's very frustrating that people can't choose how they want to make that quality of life, and they can't choose something that's all natural that has 0.00065% THC.
Well, it's not.
I don't mean to laugh. I apologize. I'm not trying to be rude, but to me, it's just, to me, that's zero.
I think that 0.000 is zero.
And beyond.
What's that song? Nothing.
And I don't want to fight this out. I don't want to pay lawyers to do that. I just want to put 3 Earnhardts in one race. Bobby Earnhardt. Yeah.
That would be so awesome. Well, I mean, and there, what we're trying to do, the target market of NASCAR is a lot of blue collar, work hard, got a lot of aches and pains that could really probably use the education that, we are offering people, with these weekly shows. And, we really want to get this into those hands. And, by getting product information and raising awareness, and maybe all they do is follow us.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
we're opening doors.
11 years ago when I first started this industry, I did events like at Spring Sprees in Colorado Springs, and people would walk by my booth like I was Satan himself. They'd cover their children's eyes and be like, "Run, Johnny, run!" Not like, but it was like pretty,
Right.
they're like, they look at our booth like 40 times, like, "Wait, no, that's a cannabis booth. No, this is happening, folks." And it's the trickle effect, so I'm glad
that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, no, not at all. They
I
just don't even notice it. It's like dandelions,
You see it everywhere. The farmers market. It's at Walmart and Ross's and grocery. It's
Kroger's,
everywhere.
King Supers. There are products at King Supers right now. Kroger's own company. Kroger's sponsors the 47 in the Cup Series. Full time. I think that's Ryan Priest's full-time ride. Sponsored by Kroger's, who is selling in like 800 stores or something like that. Products that have
awesome.
When you hit their QR codes on it, goes to lab results from Canadian companies. Like, come on.
And you have to mail it that far.
But it comes back as ND for the THC on their products. ND, non-detectable.
Non-detectable.
So there's another number like ND. I guarantee you that 0.00 equals ND. And I guarantee you 0.00065 equals ND. We have way less CBD or way less THC in our products than the products that are being sold at Kroger's right now.
Right.
And I think we passed that test. And sorry to keep belaboring that point.
No,
but
it's frustrating.
Well,
I think that is zero. 0.00065 is zero.
And they may even argue, oh, well, King Supers doesn't just sell CBD. We don't have just a CBD.
We don't just sell CBD.
That's
We sell candles.
That's right.
We sell cannabolish, awesome.
Yeah, candles, man.
We sell.
You guys are awesome.
We also sell cannabolish brand candles and 2 different sizes of this awesome water terpene infusion that really does
It's like
abolish
Jimmy
the
John's
smell
up
of
in here. Free
trust
smells.
me when I say that we've tested this thoroughly. We go through a lot of it ourselves. It's an awesome product. So
And if you see me at an event, I usually have samples of it.
Free squirts.
That's right. Look, I have done that. I've left an event and it was pretty loud in there, and I don't mean the music. And so spraying each other down with the cannabolish.
You need that downtown Denver sometimes. Get some terpenes up in your nose. You're like, all right, I'm ready to face the day.
Yes.
we're soon to
absolutely.
be well, I've already posted it and deleted it on Facebook, but we're getting ready to get into a whole nother line of work too. So Veedworks has several different things that it does to keep the lights on. We sell candles, we sell vape carts, we sell
Regina
e-liquids,
Nelson's
we sell
books.
Regina Nelson's books, we sell Flora's Mercantile products, we sell H-Hemp,
Damn.
all sorts of different products.
You're like Amway.
Like, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But better.
But better. Oh, yeah.
But there's no pyramid scheme involved.
Yeah, that's good.
No.
But if we do have a viewer that wants Feedworks products in their neighborhood smoke shop, if they get it in there, I've got a nice box to send them.
Their packaging is amazing.
Feedworks T-shirt products, and I will hook you up.
Yeah, go ask people for our products.
Yeah, ask to have our products in there, and I'll send you a nice care package.
Outstanding.
Groovy.
So, now where are we? Do you see a time anywhere in the future for your at-home grower to have a trustable at-home, almost like a pool testing kit?
Yeah, like when you get the pH for your pond.
Yeah.
And like your turtle cage.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome. Now, of course, we're not all going to be able to afford like, a mass spectrometry thing, like a badass machine, like in our house. But, there's got to be something that's got to give you some. But I mean, that's kind of what I like about Agricor is that we're an out of the box test, just to keep it layman. I mean, they have like tests now you can buy to like have your kids pee, right?
Right.
To make sure your kid's not popping THC if they're too young or they're not supposed to, they're using it other than needing it. I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think it would. But I do think that in general, like to bring it back full circle, what we were talking about in the beginning with like dinner theater and live entertainment and comedy being medicine, with all these doors being open and people being now open-minded to cannabis, is why go to a bar and have to hang out with drunk people all night? We should do like, besides the cannabis lounges that are already existing, of course, but like do a dinner theater, like do a show that is based around cannabis. Like we could have the villain that messes up your test results and,
How about vaudeville?
Yeah, like,
vaudeville
yeah,
show?
totally. That's what I used to do, man. You boo the villain.
I used
and you
to do
cheer
some
the
vaudeville.
hero. Let's do it. We could be like, oh no, they messed up our test results. Woe is me. And then like, stop the show and be like, wait, let me have a hit off that joint, because it's improv too, right? Yeah, and then get back to the show. And I think it'd be great,
I think it would. I mean, if we can have cannabis yoga, why not cannabis theater?
Cannabis theater. If anybody wants to produce me out there, let's do it. You could just start it out with like, this is going to be the worst show ever.
What was one of your most unique characters you've ever done?
Okay, when I first started, dinner theater. I did children's theater, all kinds of theater. But when I first started with dinner theater, I was the vamp, the hubba hubba girl. Like the villain sidekick, like hubba hubba. And I'm like, I'll never be the good girl. I'll never be the good girl. And they gave me the good girl part finally. So when I was a bad girl, one role I remember was Splendora Vanity was my name. And then when I was a good girl, finally, after years, I was Honesty Worth More. And my hero was Big Buck Brawny. And like my favorite memory of all the years I did theater, and Noah, if you're watching this eventually, I'm going to make you watch it now. He was my hero. And he messed up his line, and this guy in the front middle row was like, ha 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 ha, like, you messed up your line, ha ha, you're stupid. And Noah looked down at him and goes, haven't you ever made a mistake before? Who cut your hair? And we freaking lost it. Well, you have to have the visual. This guy had a bowl cut. He was like an old dude with like a bleached out bowl cut.
Oh no.
It was freaking awesome. And his wife was like, ah. But that's what I like about dinner theater. So wouldn't that be awesome?
That would
to,
be awesome.
Bring the industry together with the audience participation, and then we could do the vaudeville style oleo afterwards. I'll have to call up the dinner theater in Manitou where I used to work. Hit them up.
My mother enjoyed doing it, so we had to do it as a kid, and I will never forget. I was 9, and my hair was almost to my knees.
Wow.
And they cut it to here.
What?
I was traumatized, but I also got the role of one of the Lost Boys in Peter Pan that year in the community theater.
Oh my God,
and I made
that's
a great
awesome.
boy.
Yeah. Well, you were talking earlier. You were usually like in dinner theater. You got to play like
I did.
The Killer.
I did. In New Orleans, Jump the Broom Productions. I don't know if they're even still around, but we did dinner theater, and I got to play that a few times.
That's
got my
so
kids
cool.
involved. It's so fun. It is so fun.
I think anybody out there that does have kids, or even grandpas, who cares? Like, we need to remember that there's live theater. We need to get our kids off their asses, off of watching, shows all the time, and experience live theater. It's really depressing to me when you see all these theaters going out of business. And when I worked at the dinner theater, I'd say, "Oh, I work at the dinner theater," and they'd go, "Oh, I love that place," and then immediately they'd go, "But I haven't been there in 20 years," and I'm like, "Okay, you just said you love it, but you haven't been there in 20 years." So I really encourage my kids. I bring them to live theater. Builds confidence too, not just watching talent shows on TV. Like, bring them to live theater. You get the goosebumps that you don't get when you're watching it through the boob tube. You got to experience that live and let them feel that. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
That's
I
another
saw Hello
good
Dolly
medicine.
this year. It was amazing.
Oh, cool.
And it's you're right about making sure that children see live theater and it inspires something in them. When I had my daycare, we did a lot of on rainy days, it's very happy on birthday. And I encouraged, dressing up and playing through things. It's extremely therapeutic.
Yeah, and it's fun to escape reality too. Let's just be real. Let's be real to escape reality. That was pretty awesome. But no, that was fun about it, and that's the only thing that turned me off was like, oh, I want to be famous or ew, or no, this is fun, people. To change someone's mood, you'd have people come into the theater like their dog just died, and by the time they left, they were like, yeah, woo, like you're all best friends. It was just really fun. So when you guys come down to the Springs, we should hit up the dinner theater.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I didn't even know they had one.
Yeah,
down there.
exactly. People need to go. A lot of them have been shutting down like crazy.
Well, like you said, they're not as popular anymore.
Yeah, so let's bring it back.
Not when you can go to a movie theater now and they have beer and deliver you food, and that's got to be a big competition. If you want to have a unique experience, that's the new unique experience.
Yeah, true.
You ever do stand-up?
I did improv stand-up. The only time I did stand-up where I wrote a script, I thought I was funny as hell. Maybe not anybody else did. But I was the maid of honor for a wedding. And it was people were rolling. I thought it was pretty good. But, I'll keep you posted on that.
I apologize to, I was only the best man. I made one wedding toast. That was the worst wedding toast. I wish somebody had that on camera.
Oh, yeah, I wish they would have recorded mine.
I still
But the camera
apologize.
guy was like, oh, it's just the maid of honor. They always suck. And right when I started talking, he was like, bathroom break. Oh, no. Oh, that's funny. No, we went to California. It was my girlfriend out there's wedding. And yeah, it was so much fun. But I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to actually script something, write something, and finish it. But I'm more of just a see what happens kind of girl.
Right. Well, I was telling you what we did last year with our Halloween special. That was a lot of fun to do that, and we're looking forward to this year. I guess we'll soon be starting to
I'm
write
thinking
it.
it's going to be about Sasquatch.
Nice.
Yeah. Doing
Do
work.
you have an outfit already?
No, we're not going to fake Sasquatch.
Oh, no, you're going to look for Sasquatches. Oh, but I thought you were incorporating it with your Halloween. Oh, you are with your Halloween show.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's all coming
things-
together.
Yeah, they take time.
It
Maybe
took
it
a
might
minute.
turn into UFO stuff. It kind of depends on how it all shakes out. But
That's my vote.
I mean, it already involves a ghost. In fact, I'll do
Yeah.
that real quick.
And he's off. Come back.
Dieter.
Oh, I love
Data
those
the
Stash Logic things.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Those
Stash
things are
Logics.
cool.
I know, right?
So
Everyone needs 4 of those.
they do.
I'm spying on your
No, I'll
phone.
tell
I'm
you.
just kidding.
So the combination is 358, but I always preset it on 420. And then inside that is the Kansas drug tax stamp and the Oklahoma tax stamp. And then a ghost in a box.
A ghost in a box.
Yeah, his name's Dieter. And it's really difficult to cut open.
Yeah.
Like that's what we did last Halloween we received Dieter and we cut all this open and inside was a box and inside that was another box. And then inside that was a ghost. It jumped out. So
Yeah, pretty.
Good thing it's locked in that Stash Logic case.
Yeah. It's the new official, because the old one looked like a bomb. The one he came in looked like it was just uncomfortable driving it around with me.
He's just running.
But I always take Dieter with me when I drive across Kansas now because I was illegally pulled over for my my Colorado license plate in Kansas. So this was Dieter's old containment box. And it just looks a lot more bomb-like and so I'm a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, it'd be harder to
with.
get security with that, even though that is a Stash Logic thing, which would also create, curiosity.
Yeah.
But that would be a little more alarming. That's more like zombie shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fly with it for sure. But driving across Kansas, sometimes I think cops pull you over because they got nothing better to do, and sometimes I think, maybe I don't have anything better to do either. And let's talk.
Or maybe you're just a bad driver. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm totally joking.
False.
I got pulled over in Kansas and I was driving maybe 2 miles over the speed limit. And he's like, it's really windy. We just suggest that today you might drive a little lower than the speed limit. I was like, okay, thanks.
Nice.
It's the windy police out there.
It's the windy
Cool.
police.
Well, I'd love to do this again, you guys. Maybe even whenever you want. I'm down.
Soon.
We could, the more the merrier. We could invite some more people.
Yeah, let's definitely see when we can get you guys back on. Get all the Agricor
Yeah, get the brains in here.
science guys.
Cool. All right. Well, playing Dub Conscious in the background again. Come on the show, Adrian.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Kelly Curtin, for joining
welcome.
us from Agricor Laboratories. Julie, thank you for setting us up. Thanks, everybody, for joining. And as always, I'm Travis Lippert, reminding you, if you don't get hemp here, get hemp somewhere.